My very first encounter with Halloween as an idea, as an event, was a Jack Chick tract. For those of you not already aware, Jack Chick was a deeply paranoid, culturally weird fundamentalist Christian conspiracy theorist who believed, amongst other things, in the Illuminati, in the satanic influence of the Pope, in a lot of things that the KKK kinda thought, but definitely didn't want to say out loud. And he expressed his faith by making an enormous number of extremely cheaply produced, badly made cartoons, which were then made to be printed on cheap paper so that you could leave them in places where people would be drawn in to read them. Chick tracts are absolutely bonkers. If you go and find some of them nowadays, the surviving corpus of material includes the stuff that's much more easily debunked and made fun of, with the idea of things like the fear of the evolution and the absence of understanding about complex sciences. But root to all of it is a bunch of other completely unhinged view of reality. Particularly was his anti-Halloween comics. During this, he would spread a bunch of pretty common beliefs amongst us in the fundamentalist church at the time. The notion that Halloween was a pagan ritual that had been tamed and domesticated so it could be marketed to children, and with that came some awkward questions that my parents were not particularly interested in actually answering. What I did know was that there were certain things you couldn't do or draw at church, like you couldn't draw a witch on a broom for fear of being accused of being influenced inappropriately. Also, there was a belief, which I did find rooted in these tracts, that the druids would come down from on high, and they would take the eldest daughter of each family, kill her, sacrifice her to a profane god, then turn the fat in her body into a candle, which they would then return to the family inside a pumpkin, and that is the true origin of the jack-o'-lantern. Which, honestly, in hindsight, if that's meant to be like the spooky backstory of jack-o'-lanterns, it's pretty good. But whether or not that idea is true, and given the kinds of things Jack Chick believed and the kinds of things he said in other comics, I'm pretty confident that none of any such thing ever happened. This is, however, the background to the environment I grew up in, where Halloween was something really quite scary that you would see infiltrating things that you thought you were allowed to like the Muppets. Anyway, it meant that for the longest time I never really had it in my head that Halloween could be something fun, and I never really knew how to handle the idea that people found it fun. So, this is Halloween Forever, an adorable game about an undead sorcerer who declares that Halloween shall be happening all the time now, forever, and you, an animated jack-o'-lantern in coveralls, run around vomiting candy corn on other undead horrible things, mostly in the name of just working out what's going on. I don't really have a lot to say about this game as a game. It is really good. It is, as far as these games go, it is a game out of 10. Solid, fun, responsive. You are watching me do basically a blind playthrough after a bit of mucking around on the first level. There's clearly secrets, there's a lot of stuff I don't quite understand, and it has a lot of personality bursting out of it from every point. I really do like this game, and I recommend you give it a shot. I got this game, however, as part of the Racial Justice Bundle on itch.io. Which means, odds are good, you've got it too. When it comes to that bundle, there are a lot of people involved who made games that went into it. And I feel that it's very important to spend some time looking at them, because for these games, every single one of them represents someone who genuinely believes that the idea of racial justice is worth fighting for. At least, that's what they said by putting their game in there. So, check out the stuff they made, check out the kind of stuff they're interested in, and check out the kind of worldview they bring to the games that they're making. This is an adorable little Halloween platformer. I heartily recommend it, and I really love getting these insights into what it's like to enjoy Halloween.